Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. Today we're back with the Empire and Bretonnia in a 2v2 against the foul, undead, vampire counts, and tomb kings who have joined forces. So yeah, this is actually a battle that took place on Heir of Carthage's stream last night. Had a ton of fun, and somebody had commented on one of my 2v2s recently saying how much they enjoyed it. And to be honest, I enjoy them quite a bit too, so we're going to be taking another quick break from the DLC series to have a look at this 2v2. So, for my forces, Karl Franz leading the way. We've got a front line of spearmen, 3 Free Company militia, Luminarch, Royal Altdorf Griffites supported by a warrior priest, 2 Empire Knights, and a Jade Wizard. For Bretonnia, got a couple Grail Knights, the Green Knight, some Foot Squires, a line of peasants, the Fey Enchantress leading the way. We've got more Grail Knights on this side and a couple of pole arms. As for the vampires, they've got a Terrorgeist currently getting nuked by the Luminarch there. A couple of Argeist, Isabella, and a Vampirist Lore of Shadows. Got a mix of skeletons, Graveguard, and some zombies. For Heir of Carthage, playing as the Tomb Kings, he's got Sepulchral Stalkers, a whole bunch of Skeleton Archers supported by Khalida, some Tomb Scorpions, 2 Tomb Scorpions, Light Priest, 2 Sepulchral Stalkers, a whole bunch of skeletons in the front. But Vampire player gets a little bit over-aggressive here going after Karl Franz. Granted, he does have a pretty heavy air force, and in a vacuum they would certainly be able to defeat Karl, but this is definitely not a vacuum. You can see the Templehof Luminarch has netted and is blasting, absolutely blasting this Terrorgeist. It is going to be down in just a moment. Karl Franz tanking out a ton of damage from the Vargeist and from Isabella and her friend. The Free Company militia coming over to start blasting away with their pistols in support. Of course, Vargeist have very low armor, so the Free Company militia can do a great job getting a nice concave and volume of fire here with the Luminarch blasting the Terrorgeist out of the sky. So already the Luminarch's pretty much paid for itself with just blasting the Terrorgeist. And yeah, you can see Karl Franz has taken quite a bit of damage, but he's tanking just fine. I'm going to bring the Jade Wizard over to do a bit of healing. Meanwhile, the Bretonnian player has managed to catch some Black Knights over here. You can see this crumbled unit of Black Knights caught between Knights of the Realm and Mounted Yeomen. These Grail Knights are just kind of hanging around here. The rest of his forces just sitting back for now, perfectly content to get shot by Heir of Carthage's archers, considering he's just got cheap, disgusting peasants. Meanwhile, we're taking out a lot of high-value targets for the vampire counts over here. You can see just sheets of fire coming in from those Free Company militia. Absolutely brutal against the Vargeist. Isabella's been taking shots from the Luminarch here. So yeah, she comes down with her friend to try and finish it off. The Vargeist follow up. But of course, Karl Franz is in the area. We've got plenty of supporting troops. You can see the Demigryph Knights are ready to come over as well. The Vargeist are pretty much done for already. But Isabella did just heal herself up quite a bit with the Blood Chalice. But here come the Demigryph Knights along with the Warrior Priest. Going to be dropping some buffs here. Looks like that Stand Your Ground from Karl Franz. Excuse me. Meanwhile, Bretonnian peasants continuing to get shot by skeleton archers, which is, you know, extremely exciting. But totally warranted on our part. I was trying to bring my Empire Knights up and around, but I got a little bit caught up on these skeleton spears, which is unfortunate. But still, we've done a ton of damage to the vampire army, so it's going to be tough for Heir to come back regardless. Yeah, you can see the Free Company unloading on the flank here. Well, at least they were unloading. Most of the units are crumbled away now. You can see the Vampirist Lore of Shadows is crumbling. Isabella really struggling at this point. Peasant Archers supporting here, and the Grail Knights have come up and around and got a beautiful rear charge in support of these Empire State troops here. Might have just friendly fire blasted a couple of them. Only like 2. That was fine. Luminarch trying to shoot up and over this slope here to get at Khalida, but unfortunately not in the best positioning. I should have brought it up a little bit to like the top of this crest right here, but yeah, as it is, the Black Knights came up and around. Looks like they got caught up by some Bretonnian cav, but desperately trying to get back to get at the Luminarch. Unfortunately, it's not going to quite be enough, and the Luminarch will survive. You can see Isabella trying to make her escape. She is very low on HP, but she can actually heal the Tomb King's troops with her invocation. So you see she tries to escape there. Another Luminarch shot, and the net, though, is enough to pin her in place. Some Peasant Archers help unload a little bit, and Isabella is mostly done for. So yeah, that's pretty much the entire vampire army. You can see there are still a couple of troops fighting there on the ground. But another beautiful rear charge from some Grail Knights on these Graveguard does mean they're going to get absolutely walloped, especially with the loss of leadership there. Isabella recently having been gatted means that they are not too happy. The Graveguard are going to be crumbling pretty quickly here. The state troops have taken some damage, but they were able to hold the line. Meanwhile, the Bretonians did come forward and engage on the Tomb Kings, so now Air Skeletons mixing it up with the peasants here. They are going to obviously do well against the peasants, but that being said, Tomb Kings don't have a ton of magic damage, so the Green Knight is going to be able to get around, do a ton of work. Franz had been netted and shot up a bit, came down to do some damage to Kalita, but unfortunately, just because he had taken so much damage in the fight with the vampires, it wasn't quite enough. He is going to get routed off here. But notice how everything has flaming attacks for our alliance here. That is because the warrior priest, of course, has the banner of eternal flame, so he's been hanging around giving everything flaming attacks. Very, very good to have against both the Tomb Kings and the vampires. So you can see we've got the line of Free Company moved up here. Because of the slope, they're not actually able to get that much effective fire here, but hey, at least they're standing here. The Empire Knights coming up and around along with some Grail Knights here. And yeah, you can see Kalita has pulled back from that frontline engagement. Lots of peasant infantry here just duking it out. Karl Franz, of course, with his buffs, will be able to buff them up as well. But another net from the Light Wizard for the Tomb Kings, and these archers are just going to unload. Despite the fact they don't have the best AP values, they do enough AP, and of course with enough volume of fire. And oh man, did Karl just straight up land on some skeletons and kill them? Wow. Oh man. Karl goes down, but the Fey Enchantress is still here to lead the way. We've also got the Warrior Priest still alive with the Demigryph Knights as well. You can see the Royal Altar Fights fighting here. So yeah, honestly not too worried about the leadership situation. We're very much ahead on the balance of power. Tomb Kings sort of making their last stand up on this hill. A bit of a lost cause. You can see the Green Knight just tanking out hordes of skeletons here. Sepulchral Stalkers actually are doing a pretty good job just sitting back and dealing with some of the heavy cav. You can see the Grail Knights, Knights of the Realm, have actually taken quite a bit of damage here. But, yeah, that missile attack actually does a decent amount versus heavy cav. Excuse me. Likewise, the Empire Knights have been routed off as well. Knights of the Realm, Grail Knights, Mounted Yeomen up on the high ground preparing to charge up and around it. And we're just a matter of time at this point before the Tomb Kings decide to crumble away. So let's grab some cinematic close-ups of this battle. As it happens here, you can see the Warrior Priest with his blue glowing hammer here. Banner of Eternal Flame. Oh man, that Luminarch shot came in and just did a ton of damage to that Tomb Scorpion as well. And yeah, state troops forming a line here. You can see the Tomb Scorpions did get a bit into the back line here. They are messing up the Free Company pretty well, but we've still got some healing from the Jade Wizard, and the Demigryph Knights are here to protect. Got some state troop spearmen as well. So yeah, decent stuff. Over here on the far side, Grail Knights fighting Sepulchral Stalkers, which is not necessarily the best, especially with the support of the skeleton infantry there, so they are going to go ahead and pull away. They do have some Knights of the Realm in the area for support, though. Over here, these Knights and Yeomen just crumbling away the skeleton archers here. Then they're going to push forward. You can see the Sepulchral Stalkers sort of back-to-back here with the Light Priest, who just got shot by the Luminarch. The last shot from the Luminarch managed to do a ton of damage. But a nice net there on those Grail Knights. You can see these Sepulchral Stalkers unloading their spit attack. Does do a decent amount of damage to cav units. I haven't honestly noticed it do too much against infantry or monsters, but it does decently against cav, certainly. But the Pendant Arms rushing in there with their pole arms out, trying to take down those big nasty constructs. The Grail Knights going to hold it. They didn't get their charge, which is a bit unfortunate, but these other units can sort of get a downhill charge, and here come the Demigryph Knights. Going to drop a sweet Hammer of Sigmar here to buff up all these units, so yeah, for some reason, the Grail Knights like hearing of prayers of Sigmar. Here come another unit of Grail Knights dropping a brutal rear charge, and that's pretty much going to be it. Everything's got flaming attacks too. Kalita just gets absolutely raffle stomped, and that's going to be game. So, well played to our opponents. Big thanks to Air for having me. And yeah, super fun battle. I know a lot of you guys like the 2v2s, especially the Bretonnia Empire combination, and especially when you're taking down gross, disgusting undead. Yeah, it was more just for fun, not to be taken super seriously, but in terms of the breakdown, yeah, Karl Franz did some heavy lifting. Not that many kills, but he did do some serious damage against the vampire army, tanked out a ton of damage that allowed the Luminarch to take out a lot of high-value targets as well. And then, of course, the Free Company Militia. These two both started with an XP Chevron. This unit managed to gain an XP Chevron from shooting down Vargeist, which is, you know, just absolutely wonderful. For my teammate here, Jeep Driver, 87 kills on the Green Knight, pretty serious. 132 on Men-at-Arms. How did that happen? I mean, even if they were fighting zombies, which I don't think they were, I mean, they must have been fighting skeleton warriors, but that's impressive, honestly. The archers got some pretty good work done. The Pox arrows helping to take down Isabella, the Vargeist, and of course the Knights doing some heavy lifting as well. 113 kills on these Grail Knights, 57 and an XP Chevron here. They helped to take out those Black Knights, did some excellent rear charging on the Vampire Army. As for Air, obviously the Spokeo Stalkers did do well in that late game. Unfortunately, Linker just played a little bit more aggressively than he should. You can see his army kind of just got taken out without getting too many kills. The Graveguard did well against state troops, but other than that, he did some damage to Karl Franz, but it was a rough situation to be thrown into. Definitely wanted to try and hang back and use Isabella to help buff the Tomb Kings, just because the Tomb Kings don't have a way to innately heal, and Isabella, of course, can cast Invocation of Nehek, which heals the Tomb King's units. So it would have been definitely beneficial for them to play a little bit more together, but as it was, you know, it's tough for the vampires to play back like that because they don't have any ranged units. So maybe for Air, swapping in a couple of Ushabti Great Bows might have been a good idea, but again, this was just a bit of fun, not to be taken super duper seriously. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.